Hello, welcome to Team Fortress TV. This is TurboTabs, and I'm joined with, or just Marblr actually. We have no other co-cast. Sometimes it gets like this, but we do press on. We play with the cards that we are given, and tonight our cards are Full Tilt versus Serpents. This is continuing our coverage of ETF2L Season 22, powered by Saloon.tf. And tonight your maps will be Viaduct and Process. So, what is going on? This is week 4 of ETF2L. Full Tilt have been having a somewhat successful season so far. So they're looking just to pick up another little win, but I think the Serpents will make it very difficult for them tonight because I think they're quite the wild card team, these Serpents. If you don't know who the Serpents are, they are a team comprised of Shadowburn, Forsaken, Unhuman, White Glow, GDK, and of course, who is that last person? Kenzie, of course. How could I forget about Kenzie? The respective classes, I believe, will be Unhuman and Kenzie on Scout, Forsaken on Soldier, with his. I believe it's Shadowburn actually playing the Roma, but I could be wrong. The Serpents, the Russians, are a complete question mark for me right now. They've been changing up their roster just about every single week, adding people, removing people, just pulling people in as mercs. But because they play together so often, the Russians can probably switch out these players left, right, and centre, and it will barely affect their game. Playing into it, they'll just play it like any old pickup game or PCW or whatever. It almost feels like they're interchangeable. So, but over on the Full Tilt side of things, you will have Kos playing medic, Spud on the demo man. You've got Solentes on that pocket soldier who's tagged up as Nye over on the stream. We've also got famously Sideshow on the Roma class. We've also got Ast and Flash on the Scout. So, of course, going back to it, Full Tilt are looking to continue their spree of games. They need to kind of keep this constant wins up to have a possibility of getting into that top 3 playoff spot, because they are being challenged by LEGO. And speaking of LEGO, if you're actually looking to catch any LEGO action tonight, we do have LEGO playing against Reason Gaming, the predicted 1 seed for towards the end of this season, over on our primary stream, Team Fortress TV. But if this stream isn't tickling your pickle, or neither is that primary stream, we do have actually a second stream going on, and I believe that is the Animate versus Danger Dogs game. That'll be casted by Commander X and Warher Yeah. So there's so many games to catch, but don't worry, we will be capturing all of this over on our YouTube channel, so you can't possibly miss a single game. We'll be releasing them about once a day, but if you really cannot wait, we are going to have them up on our events page. If you just go straight over to the events page, they'll be shortly uploaded, and you can view them there before they even hit the YouTube sub box. So, Full Tilt trying to get that 3rd playoff spot, so this game is vital to them. The Russians, a huge wild card, especially on this map, Viaduct. Viaduct is a very wild card of a map. It plays very differently compared to every single other map in the ETF2L map pool, being the only King of the Hill map. And that does cause for a lot of upsets. So maybe we could see one tonight. It's been a very interesting season so far. Teams losing points where they shouldn't have. So maybe it's just written in the stars for every team, including possibly Full Tilt. They have shown slight regards to being worried about this map, at least talking to Full Tilt in the interview stages of our last game that we covered. They showed that they were a bit worried about what could happen on this map, Viaduct, against the Russians, because they do have players like Forsaken, who is a beast of a sniper. And you've also got Kenzie as well, who's quite famous for his sniper rifle. But they do have Flash over on Full Tilt to keep that somewhat well organized, so the having that sniper v sniper matchup can just naturally counter each other, as I believe we've actually gone live. So if you're just joining us, this is Team Fortress TV. This is the third stream. This is our coverage of ETF2L Season 22, powered by Saloon.tf. This is Viaduct, our first map, Full Tilt versus Serpents. And the first thing I'm seeing on mid is Spudd putting his best foot forward. He immediately takes a huge amount of damage from Kenzie, who's rocking that sniper from the very start of the game, minute 1. And now you just see Full Tilt slowly crossing up across that point, but you see also the scout just pushing, not the scout, the sniper kind of picking off some players. There you go. Speak of the devil, Kenzie has picked off Ast, and now he's even picked off Kos as well, and now the Russians are completely overpowering. Oh man, and even Kenzie wipes it clean. The slate of Full Tilt, cleaning up Spudd on the demo man there, and that's the first mid for Serpents. You can see why Full Tilt were very, very worried about this matchup coming into it. So we see Sideshow is trying to gain some ground on this left-hand side, seeing if he could possibly force that medic. White Glow is sitting on 100%, and he's already been picked off by the sniper. Good God, Kenzie is already having a monstrous game, and he's only just started. Silentes has been pushed back. He's been neutralized. They're just trying to walk in here for free, take off some ground, but it's very, very dangerous with that sniper breathing down the necks of Full Tilt. So they decide to back off for now. They're just going to build up what little Uber they have, and just going to have to take that this little loss for now. And they can't have a string of losses on this map, though. It will add up to that round, and it can really creep up on you, this loss. Now you see Sideshow jumping in. He's actually picked off GDK. That is a wondrous pick. It allows your team to get in initially, but Shadowburn is actually playing scout. It's quite common for the roaming soldier of the team to go scout, because it's not quite as strong, the roaming soldier, on this map, so might as well put use to that scout class. He does get cleaned up, Shadowburn, by Ast, who's keeping that backline clear. Unhuman dies as well to Ast's scattergun. White Glow and GDK. Kenzie also gets locked down by Ast as well, but they're trying to back out now. GDK just gets out with by the skin of his teeth, and now Falash is playing sniper as well, frustrated that Kenzie's hogging the class for himself. We see Spudd setting up the traps on the right hand side, and typically the soldiers are setting up on the left for Full Tilt. They're trying to push in from this left hand side on top of the soldiers. Forsaken's got his jump in. Shadowburn's found his opening. He's launching himself on top of Sideshow. Sideshow gets picked off by the controlled focus fire of Serpents. Ast is trying to keep Shadowburn well controlled, but Shadowburn just backs off when he's low health. Ast has got none of his team to keep him up. Flash is keeping them in the game with that sniper pick. Kenzie times out, and I don't see any immediate pause. They're just choosing to play on the Serpents. They just don't care. They've just turned up, and what, as the underdogs, and what will be, what will be. Maybe they have called out for a pause, but I'm seeing immediately in effect on the STV. So Kenzie's back into it before I even managed to comment about it. The Uber's been exchanged for the Serpents. Now they're trying to clean up what kills they have. Ast is kind of floating about. Oh my God, Flash picks off White Glow, and now Sideshow's cleaning up Forsaken. He gets cleaned up by Shadowburn himself, and now he's trying to focus down Flash, take him out, get the revenge kill onto him. He's having a difficult time finding Flash, though. He's looking around China, and now he looks inside. Flash is still hanging about in China, though. He actually picks off GDK in a stylish manner. Flash is really showing Kenzie how it's done on the sniper class, and he's being pressured himself, and he immediately gets cleaned up. Not quite as slippery as Flashes on sniper. So the ball is in Full Tilt's court. They are slowly ticking away at the time. They are technically losing right now, what with Serpent sitting on 56 seconds, but in no time, especially with this forward hold, it will buy a lot of time for Full Tilt. But they've been in this situation before, but not with GDK dropping immediately. Forsaken's gone straight in. He's trying to get on top of Flash. He takes out Flash. They've actually launched everybody in now, and they've even taken out Sideshow. They've taken out Kos. Spudd gets a kill on the flank on the human. Ast is trying to back him up. Silentes is trying to jump into 4 players by himself. He's going to get picked off. Ast is trying to come in now, but he's very low health. Spudd is just trying to man up as well. Ast just gets in. They've made it happen. They've taken out White Glow. And now Shadowburn's cleaned up Spudd, but he's all well and good. He's happy with his little pick. And now Flash even cleans up Shadowburn. Kenzie finally finishes him off. And oh God, another sniper kill onto Kos. That is deafening blow for Full Tilt now. Just when they thought it was going their way, it's gone the back of the way of the Russians, and now the timer is clicking almost under 30 seconds now. They finally got some point presence on there, but the respawn is going to be coming back very, very soon for Serpents. Well, Full Tilt, they're just sitting back now, keeping costs alive, being content that they have the point, and it's up to Full Tilt to make, not Full Tilt, Serpents to make the first move. They're buying their time. White Glow does have the advantage for now. Forsaken is trying to get onto this point for free, but he gets picked off by Spud. Spud with the wondrous pipes onto Forsaken, and now that's just prompted the back out by Serpents now, and now they're hitting under the 30-second slot. They've actually overtaken them for the first time in the game. It's really pressured onto Serpents now. They've got the advantage though. They need to get on top of Kos right away. Kos is backed out to that right hand side. I don't think there's any possibility of him being caught out in this position. He's going to have his Uber, and they are primed, ready for this repush now. They're actually trying to focus these scouts before they even use the Uber in. Now they've used it. They've gone into a point, and Spud is just gone with his best foot forward, launching straight in there. His Sideshow gets taken out by Forsaken. They've actually managed to keep their numbers well lit up, these Serpents, and now they're trying to focus down. They focus down the Demo Man, Spud, they focus down the Scout, Ass, and now they're focusing down Solentes, the Soldier. It's just poor little Kos left, and he gets taken out as well. That's a wipe, and now they've gained that point back with like match point to spare. If they just kept on it just that little bit longer, stopped them from getting on that point, that sudden death wouldn't have happened. Spud is just trying to desperately get in, but it goes towards the Russian first round to them, and now they've got the momentum. Let's see what they can do with it. So if you're Full Tilt now, this is not going to plan. You're a team that's set to crush a team like this, really, but it just goes to show you how close this season has been, and maybe a testament to how unpredictable Kenzie is on Sniper, and all these other little things going on. Spud and Sideshow decided to kind of rupture on this flank hand side, taking the fight rather from middle but to the flank. Forsaken and Kenzie just kind of watch it all happen. Kenzie is, whilst he's staying alive, picking off those kills with the headshots, with the body shots. He's cleaned up Ass just now, and they even didn't manage to cap off the point during all that. So it's just going to be another point to the Serpents. Maybe they'll start off with another strong position. They've even cleaned up Sideshow, tried to get in over on the concrete side. They're trying to just walk across the point. They've got the Uber. They've used first. White Glow's holding on to his, though. He has no reason. Now he just pops. I guess he just felt like popping there, it seems like. They're trying to clean up Shadowburn, but he picks up the health back in time. Solentes is probably in no man's land. He's buying as much time for his team as possible. But you do see GDK being pressured quite heavily. He actually cleans up Kenzie on the back of that. Excuse me, I wasn't paying attention. I just excused Solentes to die to all the 5 players, but he was just doing a wondrous job. Sideshow goes in and kills himself in true Prem Roma fashion. Oh, the pipe! The pipe from Spud just picks out White Glow out of thin air, and now Ass is completely slapping them across the face with his buff that he got from Kos. The point will go to Full Tilt now. See if they can quickly claw back this map from the Serpents. Forsaken is coming in on this left hand side. He is met by Solentes though, but he promptly backs off. But oh, he backs off to his own death. Shadowburn had his number and he's catched up to it. He's gone down for his team now. They've got no pocket presence defending this mid. They're just going to see if they can claim it for free, but they didn't equate for the fact that they had the Uber charge and they just decided to go aggressive on them. This is what happens when you play too greedily, Serpents, and now you're being heavily punished. It's just poor little Kenzie by himself, but oh, what Kenzie can do on the sniper rifle. He's picked off one player now. I don't think he could possibly kill Spud though. We shall see. Spud does back off for now. Well, all's quiet so far. Solentes poking his head through. Forsaken getting the wraparound, gets the Solentes kill. And it's another deja vu for Full Tilt, but again, another deja vu with Spud getting these wondrous little pipe kills out of nowhere. Sideshow tries to get on top of Shadowburn, just promptly kills himself from the cratering effect. Spud and Kos back off for now, just want to hold on to their Uber advantage. I don't think they'll manage to use it in time though, or at least make use of it. White Glow does have his Uber in like 15% time, and I just don't think they'll have the respawners set up there. They've got to realise this full tilt, that they don't have this Uber charge advantage now. They just took way too long, but they're going forward, seeing how much ground they can get for free. Serpents is in there. He's barely taken any spam. He's finally used the Uber. Whiteglow pops it off in the most casual manner I've ever seen in my entire life. Forsaken right on top of Spud. That's how you identify the target and just take him out. The problem has been dealt with. Serpents has been cleaned up by the sniper. Cleans up Sideshow as well. What a player. And now GDK all with the bottle kill onto Koss. Couldn't get any morally breaking full tilt right now. And it's gone back to the way of the Russians. And oh, good God, Kenzie, stop it. Well, calm down, Tibber. Okay, let's see what they have planned for till Flash is trying to claw, get back in from this left-hand side. Immediately gets cleaned up by Unhuman. Sideshow gets in as well, but he's terribly low. He's almost killed GDK though. Actually, no, wow! What a wonder sticky from Spud. How did he even do that? And Forsaken is just trying to not give up the point. He's still got this, you know, a huge amount of, like, team presence with him, and the kills are slowly going the way of Serpents. You've actually, the overextension by Unhuman to get killed there. Probably wondering where his team at was. Flash gets cleaned up. GDK follows up with Serpents. Sideshow's just throwing his way into it now, and he's got the shotgun. Okay. Oh my God, Sideshow does it. What the? Okay. He has the shotgun, and he made it, and then he promptly killed himself on the rock. Of course, only Sideshow could do that, where he goes in, he has the wrong weapon equipped, he kills 3 people, and then kills himself. Side dribble. Well, they have claimed the round back for themselves, they've got the momentum behind them, they are in the driving seat in regards to winning this round so far, but it seems it does not falter Serpents whatsoever. Serpents is trying to get on top of Shadowburn. Shadowburn cleans him up. Sideshow's kind of lingering behind, being a pair, showing his presence to the scout. He finally tries to get a bit more dedicated, but he's just not really making much happen whilst in the main fight. In saying that, Sideshow gets in, he actually cleans up Kenzie, almost takes out GDK. That was a nice healthy amount of damage, but they just didn't want to commit to it. Koss even had the Uber. I don't know why they just didn't go in. I guess they still had some respawners they wanted to bring back into the fight. Whiteglow is terribly low. He finally gets cleaned up. He doesn't have the chance to get his Uber charged. And now they've left all the Serpents players scattered. Unhuman tries to go in and fight. GDK is being launched in as well. All this damage, but no kills. Shadowburn dies as well. The point goes towards full tilt now. 20 seconds on the clock. They must be feeling the pressure. They have to make something happen. They have no time to wait for Ubers. They have no time to wait for any sort of major buffage. They need to just get on their horses and go. And that's what they're doing. They've taken out Whiteglow immediately. That's all the heals for Serpents now. They're getting a healthy amount of damage, but they've just got no point presence. And now it's been tied up by full tilt, 1-1. We've got ourselves a game. I sound like Mr. T there, and I'm a bit cringy. I wish I could stop. Okay. So, third middle of this first map, you can cut the tension with a knife. You can see full tilt being slightly scared, slightly hesitant. I bet Serpents is screaming to his team, stop being pussies, and stop being pussies they have. They've taken out GDK. Flash was a cause to die for the cause there. Serpents is trying to take on Forsaken himself. Sideshow is caught in such low manners of health that he can't really contribute to his team right now, but it's okay. Spud and Ast have picked up the point, and they're starting to click down that timer. Every second counts in a game like this, and it's better to play those objectives than kind of go greedily for those kills, but we'll see if they'll just claim it back just in time. The Serpents, they've got everybody on the point practically. Kenzie's even right up there on the front line in regards to a sniper's Spud was brought down very low by Kenzie, and now he's been got a bit of that Uber to launch out. Oh, GDK almost went down there. The Uber was off him for half a second, but that's half a second that Serpents needed just to get some damage onto him. This has forced a kind of a prompt push back. Flash comes wrapping around. He takes out Forsaken, but trades with Unhuman. And GDK is brought down very low. He's very separate from his team right now. They're all playing it into the Kenzie basket, and Kenzie basket has fallen to the ground. it's going to be more time for Full Tilt. Maybe they've got the reins back from this game, taking it away from Serpents. Shadowburn launching himself forward. He's sticking with the Soldier Class 4 now. Shadowburn actually cleaning up Forsaken, who actually decided to play Scout for a bit. They're just tag teaming these classes right now, having a good old-fashioned arcade, see who could get the high score on whatever class. But it seems Forsaken just doesn't have the same effect that Shadowburn was having, at least not in my eyes for now. Shadowburn has decided to go on Soldier. He's trying to pick off Sideshow, but he's just too slippery. He gets a lot of healthy damage. He actually cleans up on the human with the shotgun. I'm liking the shotgun play out of Sideshow. Very reminiscent of like the early seasons of Roma, where you just needed pure damage. Forsaken's come in as heavy. He's wrapped around. He's actually killed Flash, who was in his face, but they've got no Uber to stay alive, and now it's just Salentus and Ass on top of Whiteglow. Whiteglow resigns himself to death, just stands still, takes it like a champ. GDK though is cleaning up players. He's killed the Scout, and now Sideshow's in on this mid. He's fighting up against GDK. GDK has got those mid-range sticky those, and oh god, speaking of mid-range stickies, GDK gets cleaned up by Spud, who's just entered the fight and immediately cleaned up a kill on entry. They have managed to get the superior spawns though, and just from everybody dying, it will slowly go towards Serpent's favour, because on Product they will have slightly lowered respawn timers. Salentes is trying to peek for his team, call out to what's happening. The scouts are in, they're trying to step onto the point, seeing how much they can get for 3, pressuring GDK slightly. Salentes reinitiates that front line with his scout. They've even picked up Forsaken now, another weak feeble kill, and again another suicide by Sideshow, but I'm sure he did some damage during all that chaos. They've managed to blob up so much though. Sideshow complaining that he hates the shotgun, so I guess maybe it's just a sign that he doesn't want to use the shotgun, he's just forced to. The item server being very cruel to the British Roma. And we've got ourselves a pause. Oh, I've lost connection to the internet. Usually, if with a co-caster, I kind of, get a sign of, whether or not we're on the same page here, but I'm just going to keep talking anyway. Just hope that my internet has not gone out. Pray to the TF2 gods. But this gives me a breather. Well, what's happening so far? It's 1-1. The timer before the pause happened, I think, was around 30 seconds or so. It, strangely though, as a bug of the Source TV, it will keep ticking down. So don't think that Full Tilt are just going to win it right now as we click back to things. It will launch itself way back up to 30 seconds. And look at how much time Serpents have to make back on that. They have to make about 2 minutes, and that's really difficult to make on this map. Usually teams are used to trading back and forth on Viaduct, at least teams of this caliber, and now it has reset back into things, and they've got straight on top of that point, and now they're going to start clicking down their timers. But as per tradition to TF2, the bug will not show us how it is on the heads-up display. We're just going to be in for a surprise, who wins and who loses, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Shadowburn's caught down very low. He finally meets up with his medic. Spud is trying to keep up the constant damage. He's seeing if he can get a pipe onto Kenzie. Kenzie, the most forward player of his team, getting those aggressive snipes going. It gets pushed out by Salentes, and they've even got back onto point now, and they haven't got an answer for it. Even with Sideshow actually going down, now they've decided to make the attempted push. The Ast has been brought down very low. They still need to get some time on point though. That time will be ticking. Tick-tock. Serpents, they've actually picked up on the human now. They're very low in numbers. Whiteglow drops GDK. Oh, what an absolute disaster. He even kills himself during the Uber. Kenzie's going to get picked off by this guy. Oh, his ass going to get picked off by Kenzie. The machine gun. Oh god, the headshot as well. I was going to bring him back to earth and saying like, well, what is it for? It's all for nothing, it seems. 2-1 to Full Tilt now, but I guess that showed that sign of life from Kenzie towards the end, that he still has got that sniper magic, and they just have to go with it. They've actually decided to go with Kenzie on scout for this mid. An unusual choice for the Russians. Usually like to play that sniper card from the very start, but we'll see if the change of pace will confuse Full Tilt. They've launched Forsaken. He's cleaned up Spud. That's a big pick for Serpent, and now for Flash and the wraparound from Sideshow's cleaned up the rest of Serpents now. They've even cleaned up GDK. Forsaken has to come in. The air shot attempts are made. Is Salenta's just getting a nice little direct on him towards the end. So the first mid will go towards Full Tilt now. They must be really feeling calm and collected at this point. They pulled it back from that disastrous round at the start. Sideshow gets cleaned up, and this is going to give a license to Serpents to push forward. They're seeing what ways they can get in. They can maybe get this pick onto Flash. He's brought down very weak. He killed him off, but they've decided to use the Uber in aggression. They've taken out White Glow. Again, they're just not keeping count of these Ubers. They just overextend so much, thinking that they can just get in greedily. And maybe it just dawns upon the Full Tilt to, hey, we could just Uber in on them. And Uber in on them they have. They have cleaned up a lot of players during all that chaos. White Glow has gone back up though. He is slightly down on the percentage, what with being dead and all, and chaos and cost. Claude got some of his Uber back now, so he will have the slight advantage during this hold. But now they're going to start making that slow push, and this time there's going to be no pesky Uber for them to deal with over on Serpents. But Koss is going to have it very, very soon though. So they need to be wary of it, and White Glow has been going into very, very, very aggressive position, so they need to be aware that it could be sprung on them there. That's a much better position. White Glow right on top of the cliff. Sideshow gets in for a brief second. Spud is going in with the Uber. He's on top of White Glow. He wants the kill. He can't get him. He's just too fancy footwork. Or is he? Spud gets the direct pipe onto White Glow now, and the cleanup crew has arrived. They've got on top of the point. And they've actually decided just to let them back off and scatter. As long as they've got the objective, what does Full Tilt care? Am I right? Well, Kenzie is still being a pest on this sniper though, but they've just done a very good effort from Full Tilt abusing those sight lines of what the sniper has, and Kenzie's just not managed to get anything done. He's got a much better sightlined on this China area now, but they are aware of it. Sideshow was even in there for a second, but he settles with the White Glow kill instead, seeing if they can out-sustain their opponent. It's they are slowly getting killed one by one though, and Kenzie is pulling out those Wonder Frag. It's actually miraculously just gone in the favour of Serpents just from sheer deathmatch alone. I guess it's just what happens when you just kill an enemy's medic. They just have no... They've got, it's just a man against the wall with their back to the wall, I should be saying. They go into full rage mode and just want to get on top of your medical, get aggressive and get them, maybe turn the tide. They just, turn the tide they have. They've even got the cleanup kill onto Sideshow, who's trying to kind of get a pick off there. Oh, what a pipe from Spud. He's had glorious pipes this game so far. He even cleans up Kenzie as well, and he's still alive to tell the tale. Koss is brought down very low though. It's just GDK and Unhuman. He gets cleaned up by the combination of Ast and Flash. GDK just kind of left him pissing in the wind there. It's 2-1. It's 40 seconds left for Full Tilt to win the round and therefore the map. I think once they get this Viaduct game over and done with, it could be it for the Russians. But who knows? Who knows? Overconfidence is a thing in this game. They have just got on top of this point 4-3 again, but will the same happen? No, it won't. Not with White Glow actually having the Uber advantage for once. Koss is slightly behind on his Uber, so they're just going to sit back for now, let them, the Serpents have their tiny little moment under the sun with the cap point, but even then they're not even giving them an excuse now. They've just gotten straight on top of it. GDK actually picks up Ast. Now they've exchanged Ubers and both teams just grinding up against each other. Salentes just tries to opt to get on top of another player instead, but just doesn't quite hack it. It decides to back out instead. Kenzie cleans up Koss, who is actually playing a Scout this time. He's decided to put down the sniper rifle and he is doing wonders on Scout. He just seems to be a very well developed all round player, but will he bring the team back into it? It's 1 minute left on the clock and it is a mighty hold to make. 40 seconds feels like an eternity to these teams. but at the same time you can go back really quickly. I know that's quite the oxymoron, but I'm going to stick with it. They're inching their way onto this point, seeing if they can get some cap time on it. It's gone under the minute mark for the Serpents team. It's edging ever so close to a nice little sneaky pick by Solentes, working with his scout there, cleaning up Unhuman, and now it's just made this push just a little bit harder for Whiteglow. Whiteglow has been forced to use his Uber by Solentes. Well, Solentes even cleaned up a kill. He's not being focused. Sideshow cleans up Kenzie. Solentes has gotten in behind. He's decided to doing a good old-fashioned fight. Sideshow's in. He's got... Well, actually, he didn't get really much damage at all, but Forsaken just cleans up the 2 easy soldiers. It's a shame the soldiers from full tilt didn't do a better job of just syncing up their bombs there. I think they could have really done damage to the Serpents squad, but again, we find ourselves at that position in the game where full tilt have the marker down, ticked completely all the way down to 0, but the Serpents team have it, and they have got the Uber. It's going to be a really hard hold for them. They just need to cap it once. That is all they need to do. They just need to fill up the bar completely. But with bombs like that from Forsaken, it's completely turned the tide of the fight. And now Ast is trying to clean up GDK. He does that, but Unhuman is right on top of Spud. Spud can't get much done right now. They've even cleaned up cars. Solentes is desperately trying to bomb in, but they're not going to do it. It's actually, they've got some overtime though. They need to launch all their players in right now, but the Uber, can they kite this Uber around long enough? They've killed off Spud, they've killed off Sideshow, Forsaken has entered the fight, Unhuman's killed off Flash. That is it, it's 2-2. Serpents are still in the game. Oh my days. Oh, this is where the chills, the nervous demeanors come out for each team's. Maybe the tilt will show itself. We'll see if Full Tilt live up to their name. Shadowburn was the first one to kind of bomb in, but he gets like cancelled off immediately. And what a huge amount of control coming out of Full Tilt. It seems they centre around Sideshow, just getting in behind and just cutting off that health pack area for Serpents, and they just kind of win the fight from just superior damage and scout focus fire. They just don't know what to do with it. If Shadowburn's bomb doesn't seem to work at the start of the mid, it just seems to go all tatters for Serpents. And oh no, we've got Spud using that cannon ball. It's so annoying to play against, especially on Viaduct. It's like a last hold that just goes on forever. I don't know what sick, twisted individual thought this would be a good idea for a map, but it's what they have to play with, and we'll see what they can do. And GDK actually forces off Kos, so good on him for that. Or force Shadowburn's actually seeing if he can pick off a few scouts. He's been cleaned up by Ast. They're trying to get out, eat his cake, and bake his cake and eat it too, or however that saying goes. Sideshow cleaning up Kenzie, who was playing sniper for a little bit, but he does not go without being punished. Kenzie's going to be up in no time. Whiteglow has a slight Uber advantage, but he doesn't have the Uber quite yet, and Solentes probably knows this. He wants to get on top of Whiteglow, goes for the ambitious air shot, but just doesn't quite hit it. A nice little surf from Whiteglow, not making it easy for Solentes. Ast is brought down to retardedly low amounts of health, but the crossbow brings it back into the fight. Forsaken is trying to do the same trick as well, but Whiteglow can't quite hit him, especially with him jumping back. But they're going to get some time on the point, Serpents. But look at the amount of time that they have to make back. GDK cleans up Solentes, I believe, with a trap somewhere. The Uber's been launched in. Spud is forced off Whiteglow, and they've gone really aggressive with their counter Uber. Forsaken has got no rockets to really deal with all these players. Flash is completely mincing on him right now, along with his demo man Spud. Spud getting that kill there, and now their blob of Full Tilt is so much grander than the blob of Serpents. Shadowburn's probably even going to get cleaned up as well. He does get out by the skin of his teeth. Oh, it was very, very close there. He could have just been hit by that direct, but just shyly misses it. Solentes hiding around the basketball hoop. He's on top of Kenzie though. He actually misses the first rocket, gets the second before Forsaken can clean him up. That could have been an absolute blunder there. Kenzie's really having a hard time on the sniper now. Once he's kind of showed the prowess of himself, the Full Tilt have really done a good job of prioritizing him, but maybe it's not worth it if it just gives this much space to Serpent. Sideshow's been caught out trying to walking on this right hand side, putting on his best Sam Fisher impression, does get cleaned up. And back on the point, Full Tilt go. They popped off the Uber. Forsaken's trying to get out in light of the Uber being forced or popped, however you want to phrase it. Forsaken survives somehow, I don't know how. Solentes seemed like he was right on top of him there. Spudd is still quite aggressive, but they do have the slight player advantage over on Serpents, and they should make use of it. They're on top of the point. They're forcing them out with spam. Sideshow is kind of buying his time. He finally goes in. He's just been cleaned up so effortlessly though. I don't know why he really jumped into an Uber, but who knows. I've never gone to Prem. Maybe I don't know the inner workings of Sideshow's genius mind. Spudd, he wants to go forward. He wants to get some spam in. There's some stickies on this rock though, will cost notice. It's a very dangerous place. Spudd is so close to it, and you can see GDK's trigger finger itching. He finally gets Sideshow. That's the pick. It's a pick nonetheless on that part. Cost is going to be brought down though. He gets cleaned up by Unhuman. A very nice bomb by Shadowburn, and Kenzie actually kills off Spudd. They've decided to put Kenzie on Scout, and he seems to be doing so much more work. He actually Unhuman gets cleaned up. Kenzie cleans up Ass though, and the Uber has been popped. Flash decides to just kill himself. Sideshow's hiding over on this concrete side, giving him the juke, seeing if he can get right on top of Kenzie. I bet he wishes he has that shotgun now, but he can't quite get him. Kenzie's just so healthy with his medic constantly pumping heals into him. He's just a poor little roamer. Leave Sideshow alone. Full Tilt trying to make a repush of it, make use of those respawn timers. They've cleaned up Forsaken, who's just kind of launched himself at the Full Tilt blob, and it's just ate him for breakfast. Shadowburn's kind of hiding behind, cleans up Solentes that just kind of dropped in his lap. Sideshow and the Scout trying to deal with him now. Spudd picks up a random cannonball kill, and Unhuman's trying to focus down the Spudd as well. Sideshow rejoins the fight after mincing that little flank from Shadowbird. GDK picks up the kill onto Flash though. They still cap it anyways with Sideshow on the roamer, and he's gone back to the health. They've assumed the position Full Tilt for their next defense. They've just got to hold on for 30 seconds. That's all they need to do to win this round, but Serpents just need to claw it back and hold on to it for 21 seconds. So the Full Tilt have passed them in the time though. Both Ubers have been exchanged. Both teams have exchanged frags onto each other's soldiers. They've got some time onto point. Full Tilt doing it. They've actually, no, Serpents are doing it. They've completely cleaned up. They've entered the deadly arms of Serpent, and that's all of them gone, dead, nada. 20 seconds left. They only have this one respawn to make this fight back, claw it back. I think we're on for an upset here. There's 6 seconds left. There's stickies all over the point. Sideshow immediately gets cleaned up by said stickies, but they kill Unhuman, who was blocking the point. They've got so much cap time. Where are Serpent? There they are. Forsaken has got in. He's got a healthy amount of damage. He's joining Sideshow. Shadowburn. He can't quite hit Flash though. He's launched himself up into the air. He's getting cleaned up. It's Shadowburn doing it. It's just a demo man and a god of the air shot to finish it. He cleans up Cost. They're capping the point. Sideshow, can he do it? Again, the sticky trap. 3-2 to Serpents. I called it. I am a god amongst TF2. I've called it. The upset was written in the stars, and just call me a astrophysicist. Well, what a game. What a game we had there. It was quite the treat, from sniping to the wondrous pipes and cannonballs from Spudd. What a glorious game it was, but we still have another map on our hands, so don't go anywhere just yet. But before we do that, we will have a quick glance over to the log. Let's see if I can quickly grab that. Oh boy. Hopefully, now that we're going to go into our next map, which will be CP Process, we're going to have a bit more breathing room. It's not quite as just heavy hitting and constantly going as Viaduct. There are times where teams have kind of like a stalemate area as they change the map now. So let me see if we can find the the logs. It will take me just a mere moment. I'm launching it into the turbo computer right now. Marblr has even loaded them onto stream. Glorious. I'll see if I can use my best tactical prowess, my TF2 Div 1 little amount of experience to see if we can point out the anomalies of these stats. And I'm just going to go straight to the EPing, the damage stat. And whoa, 14k damage from Spud. He was doing work. Good God. I've not seen stats like that for a while now. Demoman has just been leaps and bounds nerfed by that, what seems like a tiny change to him, but it's completely changed the way that Demoman is kind of played up in, at least in Prem anyways. But Spud doing his best impression of the pre-nerf with that 14k damage, and it really showed during that fight. He was constantly getting piped, he was constantly getting sticky like kills towards the end, and but if you can see, the next 3 down kind of explains why Serpents probably won it. You actually see Kenzie doing a tremendous amount of damage, and he was a scout / sniper. It just goes to show that it's not just about getting those kills as a sniper. If you can just constantly pump out damage and just get these body shots, pressure out the map control, it's just a huge pain. And it wasn't like he was a one-card wonder. He wasn't really just playing for the gimmick. He had more tricks up his sleeve with playing scout as well, and he seems to be just as well-rounded on his scout than he was his sniper. Actually, I think Serpents have kind of made me a believer there. They did kind of cut it close, but I think they could actually really give full tilt a run for their money on this process map. And keep in mind, it's process. You can play that sniper if you want to, abuse that those EU gimmicks. But back to the logs. What else can I spot? I could spot that Sideshow is sitting on 43 deaths. Good Lord. That is a very high number. It was not quite the highest I've ever seen. The highest I've ever seen is probably around the 50s. And to be fair to him, it's a very, very, very cruel map for roamers. That map just completely eats you up. That's why you see some teams even deciding to go scout and all these other classes. It's just not quite the place for a roamer to be, at least in my opinion. I think a scout can do much more work on that map, but I think Sideshow not quite as confident in his scout play than the Russians are. But as easy as it is to bully poor Sideshow, what else can we really pick at? What's an interesting shot? Well, I guess we could obviously give the favourable nod to Kenzie with the 16 headshots. That's kind of just disgusting in its own right. But Flash with an honourable mention, showing that he did pick up the sniper for a little bit there. But Kenzie almost tripled him in the amount of work he did. And keep in mind, he also had some headshots in there as well. But yeah, I don't know what else I can really grab from here. I guess maybe another interesting stat, if you really want to make it interesting, is Sideshow managed to pick up 104 units of health during that map, showing how flexible he was in just denying those health packs and getting behind Serpents. I think that was their whole mid plan, was literally let's just get Sideshow behind. Maybe show initially on mid and just wrap him around from there, see what he can do with Silentes on the re-entry. But yeah, I don't think there's not much else I can really look at. Nothing really grabs me. I feel like if I had to overall just review the logs, I would probably give my man of the match still to Spud. He just seems to be like the constant backbone for his team and all of that. He seemed to be he was on fire during that game. You could probably say that he had the heals for it though. Let's have a quick look at the heal logs over on the stats. If we can pull them up, please. Okay. Well, we actually saw Koss was sitting on a lot more Uber charges, but yeah, I was right about the whole heal percentage. You see Spud hitting 33% of the heals onto him. They decided to go with that more of a pocket demo man, that numlock style of demo man, just getting the heals launched into him. But then again, he did the work, so I don't think we're in the major rights to complain. But Solentes is a player in of himself. I'm sure if he had a bit more heal time, maybe he could do a bit more work. But I guess that's just the disadvantage of soldiers on a viaduct. You really need a lot of heals for not just your pocket soldier, your roaming soldier, and your demo man, but you need to buff up those scouts as well. And with Kenzie being on sniper, it just frees up that avenue for them. What else can we look at the medic stats for? The average, they've got obviously a few more Ubers in. I feel like White Glow did go down a lot more in these because they just took these weird fights where they would just be like, oh, I'm sure we can get this point for free, and then Full Tilt just Uber in onto them, and they go like, oh yeah, the Uber. How did we not, calculate for that? But I think that's enough stats for now. Crunched enough numbers for one day. Let's have a quick talk about Process. So Process is a map that has had quite a legacy now in ETF2L. It was picked up a few seasons ago, I would say probably like 3 or 4, and it's very well favoured amongst the players now. It's really grown on them, and I can't really blame them. It's just a thing that every single class in the game seems to be comfortable on, and it has a unique perk of just having like a really challenging and fun rollout, I should say. The demo men have a really interesting options for their rollout, as well as the roaming soldiers. The scouts have some slight different avenues. It's kind of a mishmash of all these other maps we've played before, but it really encapsulates competitive TF2 maps very, very well. There may be some slight gripes about last, but I think it's just of its own little flavour. I think it's a really nice last still. It's just slightly different to what we used to, and I think we've actually gone live. So if you're just joining us, this is Team Fortress TV. I'm TurboTabs. I'm joined with TurboTabs. This is our coverage of ETF2L Season 22, powered by Saloon.tf, and this is our second map Process. Full Tilt versus Serpents, and I can't even get a word in before Spud cleans up Forsaken. Sideshow has been killed during that as well, but GDP goes down immediately. Solentes is trying to get on top of Human as well to really seal the deal on this map. Shadowburn's spamming him down. He has to get out, but he's beyond weak. He gets cleaned up in the pan, and the first mid will go to Full Tilt. But they've actually decided to run Kenzie from the start of that map onto Sniper. So I guess it shows how much confidence they have into their mid play. It's a lot easier just to roll that sniper out and just hope that your sniper hits those shots on the middle than to really coordinate your scouts and whatnot. But for picking that sniper class, they will be launched all the way back to last. Both teams are sitting on Uber. They didn't lose either of their medics, so it is tradition, for the aggressive team, the winning team, which is Full Tilt right now, to make the first move. It's a lot more, if you start losing in this game, it's a lot easier to get launched back onto your last than it is to kind of push out. You could get back out, and oh, the sniper, what an interesting choice from Kenzie. He's actually using the Machina, which, if you don't know, goes through multiple targets and has an increased body shot damage as well. He's actually, Shadowbone tried to get in onto Koss there, but Koss backed out into the other room, and Flash and Sideshow cleaned him up. But yeah, this sniper rifle, it does, the negative connotation though is it will reveal your position as it shoots a massive kind of line, like a railgun of sorts. And Forsaken picked off Sideshow as they try to push in. They haven't used the Uber quite yet though. They've used it now. Spud has got the majority of it. Solentes is grabbing a bit of as well. Cleans up GDK. That's no demo man. That's huge for Full Tilt now. This is going to make this last easy peasy lemon squeezy, or at least you would think so. Forsaken is right on top of Spud there. He does get he actually survives. It's just Solentes who died there. It's just Whiteglow and Kenzie to deal with the pieces. It's just too much for Serpents to handle. Maybe I was completely wrong. Maybe I should only, I shouldn't have counted my chickens before they hatched. I think they're only really good on that Viaduct frag fest. But, they've got 27 minutes to prove me wrong. Shadowburn goes for an aggressive rollout. He kind of gets the battle tide turned on Sideshow slightly, but he has to back off. He's brought down way too low. Forsaken is brought down. He's not really being backed up by his team. It's only Kenzie really showing position on that map, and look what happens to him. The only man standing in an aggressive position gets picked off by Ast, and another easy mid for full tilt. Solentes even clean up on Human in the sewer area. Whiteglow does survive though, but it was just such a very bleak middle from the start. No real initiation or kind of passion from the Russians there. They just kind of kicked it back and agreed that Shadowburn just didn't get the mid that he wanted. So full tilt will take a second point for the score. They are sitting on 1-0 now. Flash is having a decent game right now. He's actually outscoring his medic. It's a very good sign of your scout if he's doing that. Things are going to slow down though, because they don't want to just meet this Uber fight easily. They want to see if they can just get a pick off. Kenzie is actually playing sniper himself. They probably just see what they can get away with. And Human's hiding, seeing if he can bait out his sniper. Seeing if they go aggressive on the sniper, he can help him out. Kenzie picking off Solentes, though it doesn't even go that far. GDK picking up the kill onto Sideshow, who's trying to push out as well. And now it's up to the Russians to push forward, but this is very risky. Flash is trying to get behind. Flash actually decides to clean up the kills instead. He's on top of Kenzie. He's killed both of the scouts, and now he's in behind the base. Shadowburn has to stay back, but he knows he's going to do that. He goes back to kind of link up with his team. He's wrapping around. They're going aggressive on the Whiteglow gets taken out. Shadowburn is helpless because he thinks that a scout's going to come back and backcapping at any moment now, and Sideshow was actually the one that was going for the slight wraparound and cleans up him. That's a second round, 2 full tilt, very comfortably taken by the Brits so far. Wow, we even saw Flash going spy for a second there, just checking what Uber they are rocking the Serpents. It's a sign of probably the keenest of TF2 that do that. Ast on top of this crates immediately. Shadowburn trying to get in, but he was just Solentes has just launched a massive rocket into his face, and Forsaken cleaned up on that right hand side. But the scouts are doing a wondrous job of just dealing with these the soldier aggression, and they're brought down all low. If Flash just went in now, sprung in on them with Ast, they could have maybe have done for a great epic play there, but they decide to just back out for now. Ast actually, I shouldn't say Ast. Ash brushes off a scout, stops the aggression, and Flash actually picks off somebody from behind. And behind he still is. Forsaken is hanging about at this forward respawn. He spotted Flash, and Flash is still just going to play that almost Shintaz role where he's just constantly a pain to deal with, and you have to niggling little thing that you have to think about in the back of your mind. GDK has Ubered in with his team, and he's just left to die for the cause, and the counter Uber has gone in. Solentes has found Whiteglow though. There's just too much ground for him to cover to really successfully get out. Sideshow is just managed to survive just by the clumsily placed rockets of Forsaken, and that's a free mid practically for full tilt now. It seems Unhuman wants to poke himself in. He just wanted to get a good look of how much they wanted to cap. GDK actually gets picked off by Solentes, who went for a really nice little set of jumps there, getting right on top of him. I don't know what GDK was doing there, so far away from his team. So that's the second point for full tilt. Now mistake after mistake coming out from the Russians, and a very, very solid gameplay going out to full tilt so far. It seems it will probably be a draw. In my opinion, it just seems to kind of set the mood these initial rounds, but who knows, maybe they could channel their inner Epsilon Serpents and just do so much better in the second half than they do the first half. GDK cheekily poking out of this shutter door. So I don't know what he could possibly achieve there. Sideshow almost getting taken out, but His team is keeping him alive, keeping him well backed up, and they don't even dare. Shadowburn has to go back for his health. Sideshow's been topped all the way back up. So again, like I talked about, just more of those stalemates. Sideshow was going into the wall out, seeing if he can get in, but he couldn't even join the fight. And in true trading fashion, the Romans thought, well, a player is down, that is my license to get in for a free jump. But his jump has not worked, he cannot cash in his prize. Sideshow is back up, and Shadowburn's not going to be alive for another 10 seconds, but it's a good thing Kenzie got a pick onto that demo man. That's a huge pick. Spud has been doing so much work for Full Tilt this evening, so I don't think they'll want to push at all without him. And you actually got, ooh, Sideshow on the spy. It wouldn't be a Sideshow play if he didn't die and then immediately go spy. He's shown himself as a friendly soldier, really putting on an Oscar-winning performance as the spy, but he might die before he even turns invisible. I think they might know he's there. He possibly, oh no, he's using the Dead Ringer. Who uses that? Okay, well, it's a good thing Shadowburn was like an arm's reach away from that point. He just, I guess that's why he was disguised as a soldier. Want to take a few damage and then see if he can pretend to die and then go in and go for the back cap. What a play by Sideshow. He probably just forgot he had the watch equipped, to be honest, but who knows. I bet he's not going to admit that at all, though. Silentes brought down very low. Actually, Kratos, for what it's worth. Kenzie is just the only one alive because there's just too many players for them to deal with. And I guess with all the antics of Sideshow going as spy, it's just divided the attention of Serpents. So half of them was fighting, half of them was dealing with Sideshow at the back there, panicking. And it's just allowed Full Tilt to get in there for free, win the fight of that weak Serpent push. Sideshow fighting off against Shadowburn, they kind of trade, but Sideshow picks up the health back. He's back to full health practically. He's very low there now. He's been forced out by GDK. But the blob seems to be so much more prominent from Full Tilt now. They're slowly gaining a bit more ground, but that's going to weaken that blob tremendously. Kenzie with the sniper, they're just paying patient with the sniper play, and look at the defensive posture of Full Tilt now. Silentes is hiding around there. He's actually crawling. He's going all Metal Gear Solid Snake with it. He's gunning behind. He's trying to get some damage in, but he manages to not get a lick of damage onto White Glow. Gets cleaned up by Unhuman. That middle will go towards Serpents now. I think that's the first middle that they've won, and it's just a sign that Kenzie got his shots that he needed. Koss almost brought down there by Shadowburn, but gets cleaned up by the Spud Pipe. GDK also gets killed by Ast as well. Shadowburn Sideshow cleaning up on Human, doing that thankless role as the Roma flank. The Uber has been forced from just the sheer people pressure point presence from Full Tilt, and they've actually managed to stay in on their half of the map. Forsaken gets completely destroyed by Spud and Co. And this looks like another mid set for Full Tilt. 19 minutes left on the clock. 3-0 is on the scoreline, and Silentes has gone down. Maybe this will maybe they'll think about doing some sort of play here with the advantages curved this way. Koss has got his Uber though, and he needs to keep in mind that they could just use the Uber right now, and so they have, but it was more of a force. If anything, Spud is trying to get GDK, who kind of gives him the ring around the rosy, pops out the axe, beheads him for his insolence. But they're just doing a good job of just having all the scrappy little skirmishers go out the other way. Oh, Koss getting even a kill onto the Human there into the PC area, and Flash just rejoins with Koss and completely poops on White Glow. I'm mixing up my Sideshows and my White Glows. Forsaken is on second. He's just playing sniper himself. I guess a bit jealous of Kenzie. Can he do it like Kenzie though? GDK brought down to low, and he gets cleaned up by Silentes. What on earth was that rocket? I don't understand. He must have been actually in that battlements area. I thought he was on point. Silentes is poking this left hand side. Please though, Full Tilt, don't push this left hand side door. Don't push one. It's a horrible place to push. Will they learn from their lessons? No, Silentes is screaming to his team, we're pushing one, and pushing one they have. Maybe this is the right call though, because they haven't got an Uber, and they were just sat there. They were just a poor play from Serpents has probably convinced, well, enough about the one position door. I guess it was the best call to make if you just notice that their team is just standing there waiting for an Uber to be pushed onto them. One is the quickest way in on top of that team without them realizing. But usually it's gone so badly for them in the past. It's 4-0 for Full Tilt, but it doesn't mean they're out of this. We saw Epsilon almost make the comeback against TLR yesterday, and maybe it can happen again. It was also on Process as well. Kenzie cleans a pass, Salentes kills Unhuman, Shadowburn, and GDK gets killed as well. Sideshow and Coach doing a huge amount of work, and Sideshow is even alive to tell the tale. He gets out, he's re-linked back up with his team, picked up a health pack, and now they're protecting cost now that they've cleaned up all those players, and that's the only objective that Kenzie could possibly go for. Kenzie gets cleaned up, they've got a 3-second, they've got the mid as well. Koss has got an 80% advantage. It seems like a full house for Full Tilt over at the poker table. We'll see if they can go all in and cap this out with 5-0. Get those 3 points that they deserve and just shrug off that possibility of a Full Tilt. Spud is in there, he's right on the door, he is stopping any sort of resistance on that right hand side, but you see Shadowburn and Kenzie are trying to defend the point, but it's just too much for Spud. They've got the point pressure, and that was like the queenest sweep, under 15 minutes for Full Tilt. It just goes to show how weak their Viaduct game is and how weak the control point game is for Serpents. That is it. It is over. And let's have a look at some logs. I'm going to try and pull these up. Refreshing of the turbo computer. Maybe I can get some interviews in as well. Why not? To spare no expense. Just because it's a solo cast doesn't mean it can be any less of a cast. I'm not sure if I can get any Russians though. They're usually the strong silent type, but who knows, maybe we can get Forsaken in, or Sideshow, or whoever. I don't know really what much to digest from these, I guess, these logs. Usually when you see these 5-0s, there's nothing that stands out to you, especially these 15 minutes 5-0s, because everything just seems so low and bad. But if you put it in the context of this is like a quarter, a half of a possible game that could happen, it really puts it into perspective. But if I had to point out anything, is Sideshow obviously having a much healthier game. He's better at flow with hit over on a control point map than he is on the Viaduct. They probably really need to think about changing up their Viaduct strikes, but it's over now. That is week 4, so they don't have to think about Viaduct ever again. So maybe they'll just decide to just take it on the chin from Serpents and deal with it, but that sort of loss is very, very costly towards Full Tilt now. The repercussions of that is they might lose their third place spot in the playoffs. I think it's practically almost all said and done unless there's some huge amount of upsets, but it's been happening all ETF2L season, so I can probably count on Lego throwing some points here and there, giving Full Tilt a bone. But this is not good for them. What else can I poke at? What else? Spud, again, having a very healthy game. Everyone had a nice game from Full Tilt. Not really anything to comment on. Koss, just the obvious standout is Koss that survived a lot more than White Glow. Everyone survived a lot more than... I don't know what to tell you. It's just a clear cookie cutter Full Tilt domination. But I guess let's see if we can pull back some interviews though, shall we? We'll quit the menu here, see if we can pull it up. Now, hopefully my speech is still working. Usually when I quit TF2, it goes all wonky on me.
Did you want an interview?
Oh god, Mumble is so slow in these moments. There we go. We've got Silentes in here. Very kindly of him. I didn't even have to ask. I wonder, have you got any more of your team joining you, Silentes?
I don't know. I just kind of left and went here because I heard he wanted someone, so I just thought I'd come.
Oh, such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, if they want to come in, let's see if we can just throw the entire gang in here. If you're watching out there.
Oh, I'll go ask them.
You'll go ask them. Okay,
yeah, I'll go ask them.
I'll delay them. Right. So, I don't know how the other games are going. It feels like the games are still going over on Team Fortress TV 1 and Team Fortress TV 2. If you're just joining us, if you don't really feel like you want to sit and chat, you can quickly catch the tail end of those games over on the different channels. Respectively, on Team Fortress TV 1, we've got Hildreth and Max casting Reason versus Lego. And over on Team Fortress TV 2, we've got Commander X versus Commander X and Warher. Yeah, they'll be casting, I believe it was Animate and Danger Dogs. So if you want to catch the tail end of that, you can do very quickly. All people are messaging me.
I think.
Spud wants me to move him in. Oh god. There you go. Oh man, I have to unmute. But bam. Admin powers. Is that everybody?
I'm pretty sure.
Everyone else just grunted at me when I asked.
Alright. What motivation. Well, congratulations guys on I guess bringing it back. What happened? It was a very mixed bag of an evening. First it was like, it looked like a very dominant performance on Viaduct for Serpents, but then suddenly it completely snapped and turned the other way, and you just seemed very comfortable on Viaduct, but then again Serpents just switched it up again and just snuck it up underneath from you. What happened on Viaduct?
We had a really good read on how the Russians were going to play. I think we all knew individually what they're capable of. You know, Kenzie on Sniper, the possible Forsaken Sniper as well, Shadowburn Scout, so we had a good read on them. Coming out the door, we knew exactly what they were running because we had a spy check the sniper, and we just went full ham the entire 2 rounds. The loadout servers were down, so we knew that they were going to be unfamiliar with how to play double soldier with shotgun. So Shadowburn had such a negative impact on their team for the first 2 rounds, and then the loadout servers came back in. We called that it had come back in, so both their soldiers had gunboats. And if you see on the on the third mid, that would have been our victory. You know, obviously had things gone accordingly, and they just collapsed on me because they had gunboats, and I had 3 people run at me at the start of the mid, and you just didn't get that at any other point in the game. Kenzie also went on scout, and that really improved them a lot because they were able to just follow up the double soldier aggression with the gunboats in it. And yeah, it's just really unlucky. We were doing really well.
Unlucky timing. We have to play this team specifically on Viaduct because it's that team that everyone's looking to get free 6 points from, and we're just historically terrible at Viaduct. Well, over our 1 month history of playing the map, we're terrible at it.
Yeah, I think I mentioned to a few people as well that I wasn't entirely convinced by your Viaduct play before. I think that was over on against TLR, was it, the previous week? But it seems like they're such nice guys, they kind of handed it to you on a plate, but it wasn't quite the case for Serpents. So I noticed that Sideshow was using the shotgun. I was like, wow, that is a very interesting thing, but probably a better analysis of it is the item server probably went down, but I thought it would just have been for Sideshow. But I guess that explains a lot with the soldiers seeing somewhat neutered over on Serpents and it going across over once they got the items back.
It affected me a lot having I wasn't used to playing with shotgun, and then when I finally got gunboats back, I didn't because I've been using shotgun, I was still playing like a shotgun, so I went really bad stats. I think I had lowest damage and 37 deaths, I think, or something. It's pretty terrible.
Has your time with the shotgun again, has it opened your eyes at what a nice weapon it is? It seems everybody's kind of, the latest trend right now is just to put the shotgun away and just put everybody on gunboats.
It's just because at the top level, it's just way more efficient and more viable just to play gunboats pocket, put all the heals on your scouts. It's kind of sad, but like if you use it, you just eat too many heals, and then you can still die just as easily for taking all those heals.
Yeah, like soldiers such as Sil and Captain and Mike as well all have like incredible shotgun aim, but you just don't get to see it anymore just because of how the meta shifted after I-55. That was the last one. Yeah, it was.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, it's just it's a change that has happened throughout the community, and I know that a lot of lower levels are trying to accommodate it now. Obviously, they were used to having, you know, your 30-35% heals on soldiers back when you could use your shotgun, and it's just not viable. Like Sil said, it's your scouts are really shining at these top levels,
and everyone's got better aim now.
Yeah, it's true. So it makes it a lot more exciting to watch as well from a spectator's point of view.
There was a period that Flash was actually playing Sniper for a little bit, but then you decided to kind of tear him away from Sniper. What was the... It seemed like things were going okay once he was on Sniper. What forced the change out of that?
Well, because I guess we had the mindset that Serpents aren't really a structured team, so if they had a Sniper, we could just go aggressive and, like, you know, kill them that way.
What changed your mind about that? Did they show a lot more structure towards the end?
They never really showed structure throughout the whole thing. It was mostly just like, I don't know. Like,
Flash was bad. Flash did not pull out the headshots.
Well,
I wouldn't say that. I'd probably say that just kind of echo what Sil said, and like they don't have a real structured play style. They have a very capable sniper. They even have two, but you know, we have to thank our blessings as a class limit. But yeah, it's just there's no real structure for them. I mean, the Russians are stereotypically aggressive and brainless, is what people would make the assumption of. They're definitely aggressive, but they do lack a bit of cohesion. Yeah, just what Sil said. Like, we'd like to exploit that by having aggressive players and a bit more mobility around them. And yeah, maybe we could have played Thalash on Sniper a bit more, but it would have provoked a Kenzie Sniper, and we would have had to play a lot slower, and that's what the Russians would have wanted as well. So I think we made the right decision.
No, we only lost right at the end when it was 0-0 overtime for both of us, and Spoke got airshot.
Yeah, I got airshot.
You can't really account for Shadowburn just getting 5 kills or whatever.
Yeah, it's a really nice play from him.
Now, I do apologise for lingering on this Viaduct map, but it was really the meat of it. It was a very interesting game to watch, but it seems like Sideshow was having a really rough time on that map. And we actually see in the past teams like to go different alternatives from the roaming soldier. They actually pick up another scout whilst another player is playing Sniper, for example, or even like Heavy, or these other little, I guess, EU gimmicks, you could say. Does Sideshow not like playing like Scout at all, or playing Sniper himself? Or is he just... Can he only really perform on the Roma Soldier on Viaduct?
Well, the way I look at it is that he's most effective on Roma. Like, when he's more consistent on Roma than he would be as a scout. I know he can be like not a top scout, but he can be like, he could be a decent scout. But he's not going to be it consistently. Same with the sniping. Like, he hits headshots, but it's not as consistent. So I'd rather just keep him on a soldier. But then I don't want to go scout, because then I'm not saying he doesn't have lots of DM, but I kind of am.
Ooh.
And then I feel like we lose a lot of our aggression, because usually I'm the one going further in most cases.
Yeah, we'd lose too much than we would gain from it. Obviously, it's nice to have that. What's the word? Fluidity, I guess, is the term I'd say. For
flexibility.
Flexibility, yeah.
I think that's another reason why he was struggling, because like Roma's like Rising and Shadowburn, and they do like fast jumps in a row to get behind you, but Sideshow's more about those one C-tap and try and get as far as possible.
Yeah, he was creating a lot of space to kind of switch maps a little. Like on Process, I was kind of micromanaging him a little on the mid fights. I was saying, like, you know, they're going to go a left side because I've got Sniper, so I want you to go aggressive and counter Shadowburn, and he did that. Like, he went counter aggressive onto it, and it was really good. But yeah, that's fine.
All right, not to outstay our welcome here, I'll just ask you one final question about this, and we'll wrap it up. Get some shout outs out there. So now that it has been brought down to a draw, Serpents will walk away with 3 points, and you will walk away with 3 points. How do you think this will affect your playoff spot? Do you think that's it? Is that it gone, or do you think there's still a chance?
I think we can still aim for it. Like there'll be no reason not to. I just look at it as we play. Each time we play, just tries to do our best.
Yeah.
Get good results, and if we get there, we get there.
Yeah, I echo that as well. I think Sill's right there. We always try our best. PCWs, if you listen to Sideshow stream, isn't respective of how serious we are. But
something I'd wish to change. We play so much better in officials.
Literally the memeiest stuff I've ever heard in my life.
I don't even enjoy it. It's
he doesn't. He just joins in because everyone else is.
It's like you all have like Tourette's. You just respond to each other's Tourette's.
It is. It's exactly like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and thank you for putting on the show on Viaduct, and I guess quickly cleaning up on the process. We're not even going to address that map, just at least for Serpent's sake.
Our comms are so good on process because there was no shit. Like we got beaten. There's no shit to be said. Just need to play.
We literally it was so minimal. Like it was what you wanted. It was me pretty much main calling, going, "Cost, what are the Ubers? Right, we're doing this."
I think there was a single meme.
Yeah, it was like, "Oh, nice, buddy," and that was it.
You get to change out that sign. It's like it's been 1 day since no memes.
Yeah.
We did
had to release it. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to treat you guys to a shout out each for your efforts in joining me in the interview.
Shout outs to Valve for their amazing item server. Shout outs to Valve.
Shout out to Commander X and his cooking ability.
His cooking ability? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is it. That has been Full Tilt versus Serpents. That was our Week 4 coverage of ETF2L Season 22, powered by Saloon.tf. That was both the maps Viaduct and Process. If you have just joined us, sadly you have just missed it, but don't worry, we're going to upload all these VODs, all the action over onto Team Fortress TV over on our YouTube. If you want to catch more of live footage, you can follow us over on Twitch. And if you've got something to say about the match, if you want to call out Spud or Sill or whatever, or just say hi. You can talk to us over on Twitter. Our tag should be at Team Fortress TV. And if you want to find any more content about competitive Team Fortress 2, if you just stumbled upon us and you want to know where the home for all that content is, that is www.teamfortress.tv. I've been TurboTabs. Joining me in this interview was Spud and Sill, and Marblr was on the production. That's everything. See you later.